Hey everybody, Joel and Jeremy here. It is the games of the month. We are through March, although you can see Jeremy still celebrating March Madness here today. But we're going to talk April. We're going to talk some baseball and some softball. Spring is here. Happy spring, Jeremy.
It is. I'm even wearing my Titleist hat because I'm ready to hit the golf course too. Yeah, it's an exciting time. It was kind of scary a few weeks back. We had that big snowstorm. I think a lot of us thought we were out of winter, right? We had beat winter. We made it another year, and then we get a foot dumped on us. But yeah, it's an exciting time. We've kind of, for you and I, turning the chapter from a busy March where we had some very successful girls and boys basketball teams that was fun to follow. But now we start looking ahead, right? And maybe we can recreate some of that magic again this spring. And I know we've got some highly ranked and looks like very competitive teams in our area to cover. So it's a great time of year. It's a fresh start for everyone.
It certainly is, and we got a couple of good ones. We're going to talk about one baseball, one softball here. We'll start off on the baseball side. On April 9th, KGLB, AM 1310, FM 96.1, Glencoe Silver Lake versus Central of Norwood Young America. And boy, this one could be one of the best games of the entire spring. You got GSL defending state runners-up. You got Central, who coming off a 10-win regular season, but then had a run in the sections and was really playing good at the end. So you got two teams that are coming into this season with big high hopes, I think.
You got GSL, who's still hungry, right, from a second place finish. A little bit of a surprise, I think, to some maybe because they were seated third in the section, if I remember correctly. And then a Central team that returns quite a bit as well. Obviously GSL, there's attrition. That's the one thing that we always know about baseball, but they've got a lot of that core back. So they're a preseason number 2 team. Central's probably going to, again, be a top 3 or 4 seed in that section. That is always one of the toughest sections in the entire state of Minnesota. So, this is kind of a little bit of a precursor, and it's early, Joel, right? It's you're not going to probably see guys going out there and throwing 5, 6, and 7 innings. It's one of those games where you're kind of working your way into the season. But for two programs, for two Hall of Famers like John Rogie at Central and Dean Schwartz at GSL, they want to beat each other. This is a Highway 212 rivalry game, and guess what? That game, as meaningless as it might seem on April 9th, is probably going to mean something 6 or 7 weeks out from seeding. When they look back at conference records and they look at seeding, they're going to want to have this little feather in their cap.
Speaking of sections, that's where we're going to go for our next game. April 17th, it is softball on KDUZ as Hutchinson will take on Rocori. And boy, 2 years ago, this was the section championship game. Last year, it was a section semifinal game. So you got two teams here. And I know Hutch, they lost a 4-year ace to graduation last year, but they still bring back a lot of that lineup. And that's a good thing, bringing kids back.
It is. And like I said, attrition is the one thing that's always promised in high school, but it's great when you can bring back a core. There's kids on both of these teams, Joel, that were on those section finals teams 2 years ago that were in that section semifinal yesterday. So both teams with some experience that they're bringing back makes for a fun early season matchup. We always talk about that long winter sports season, right? Where it's kind of 3 or 4 months. Calendar wise, it's the longest. In the spring, we never know how weather's going to cooperate. You and I have been doing this, Joel, long enough that we've been around where we've started games the last week of April, right? And you're squeezing an entire season into 4 or 5 weeks. So hopefully we're able to get one of those longer seasons. It allows kids to get a little, to kind of get on a roll a little bit more instead of playing 3 or 4 weeks and all of a sudden here we are in the playoffs. So this is an exciting one, as we kind of kick off coverage for what we hope is a very exciting and fun spring sports season on your hometown radio stations.
Tune in for those games on the radio, online, or on our free Made in Minnesota app. And you can always check our schedules on our website as well, kduz.com, carpradio.com, and kglb1310.com. He's Jeremy. I'm Joel. This is your Games of the Month.